Coming to you from the International Broadcast Center at the top of the Sky Palace, this is the 2019 Final Fantasy Randomizer Spring Tournament here on the Speed Gaming family of networks. We have a race today between ShadowWalker and One Fine Day. We have everything on the line today. I'm going to let my co-commentator, Melee Wizard, I'm Cyclone, by the way. I'm going to let my co-commentator, Melee Wizard, explain this to you. But we have a big match on the line today, don't we?
Oh, most definitely. This one has a lot at stake. One Fine Day is 4-0, and ShadowWalker is 3-1. One Fine Day has clinched a spot in the bracket stage, but can get a first-round bye with a win here today. ShadowWalker, on the other hand, has clinched a spot in at least the play-in race, but can get a spot in the bracket with a win here as well. If ShadowWalker loses, he'll join the other 3-2s in the play-in race to fill out the top 16. And it looks like One Fine Day has taken a really interesting party choice, going with 3-man strats right from the get-go with a fighter, white mage, and black mage. The black mage being forced and the thief being banned for this week.
Yeah, I noticed that too, and I thought that was really interesting. I didn't even know that was even possible to do. So this is something that I'm learning for the first time. It's going to be really interesting to see how that works. Obviously, he's very confident his 3-man strats, doesn't need the fourth guy in there. So I guess Dan question mark gets a day off or something like that.
Yep, the going with a blank party member is a relatively new feature for the randomizer itself.
Oh, that would be why I didn't know about that. Excellent, good to know.
So if someone really wanted to go out there, you could just go with one person's strats right from the get-go, though this week that may not be the best idea.
Yeah, if it was a black belt, maybe not.
A question in chat about what is randomized. Pretty much all of the item locations are randomized. The key items, the major items, like, say, the floater, the slab, the crown, they are largely shuffled amongst themselves, though there will be two that could just be anywhere in any random chest. Finding those will probably be key to winning this race.
Very often that can turn out to be the case, as very much the case that a lot of the items you find in the random chests are something important. You can even find a floater in a random chest if you're so, should we say, unlucky.
It is. When you're still hunting down those loose items, leaving one chest behind can lead to disaster.
Yep, there are many cases where that one chest can have something like a floater, let's just think of some other items that are absolutely necessary. The loot, the crown for Astos leading to the rod, or something silly like that. So there's very often those cases where one item can be left behind in a chest, and missing that one item can lead to disaster for the runner on the other end of that. So we'll see what kind of items are in the ram chest today. We're going to see if those ram chests are at all actually important. As we are about to get started, we should have the race come up in about 10 seconds, maybe a little longer, and we should be underway here. So what do you want to see today?
Well, seeing as we've got a lot of black magic potential, in some of the races I had seen, the early black magic had been kind of slim. I'm looking to see something good, like maybe Lit 3 or something.
Well, let's see what we got here.
We got Fire 3 on the black magic side. I didn't see what was on white magic, though.
We have not seen it yet. Now we're seeing it. Cure 2. Life 2 is level 1. That is good.
Especially since that is Red Mage learnable as well.
I missed
and Quad X is in the black magic as well. A good early game insta-kill.
Some nice unpurchasable silver armor in the armor shop. We're not looking at weapons yet, it looks like.
Checking weapon shops doesn't really do much unless you're really looking to. You're so desperate. Unless the magic is so slim pickings that you're going to have to rely on your fighter to carry you in the early goings. And One Fine Day is the first one to get to the Temple of Fiends.
And that sounds a lot like vanilla if you want to look at it that way. So usually the magic will be compensatory enough to take out Garland, as we find about $2,087 or $2,086 in the upper left room. Oh, $85, sorry.
And a heal staff, which is not a bad thing to have. It's free healing. And a quick Quad X, and Garland goes down.
Yep, and ShadowWalker doing the same thing. So yeah, that's a little too much for Garland to handle. Not steady on his feet. Sent to another dimension.
All right, our first key items, we get the ship and the chime.
Ship is good. Chime we're not going to need for a while.
No, but with the expanded progression flags on, in theory, we could get to Mirage Tower right now. Whether anyone actually decides to go that route, we'll have to see. But
yeah, you're absolutely right. I did forget that the canal is already open. There is a bridge there in case you have to go that way. So you are right. That is something they can do. I don't see them doing that though. They're going to both go to Provoca, no question.
Yeah, with the ship, that's just a quick little jaunt. And one thing we do have is towns are shuffled, and Provoca has turned into Gaia today.
So this is going to be some very high-level magic we're not able to use yet. Whether they're going to want to pick it up, we'll find out later. Looks like One Fine Day is stocking up on the finest of accessory items at the item shop, while ShadowWalker is exploring Gaia and finding that item shop, and just the same kind of items over there today.
Yeah, one other note: one of the item shops will have one of our key items. We just don't know which one it is yet.
Yeah, this replaces the vendor item that you would have to go get by itself normally in the vanilla game. So I actually find it funny that they somehow expect us to be able to find that without help. That seems like a hard-to-find item where it is vanilla.
Alright, and One Fine Day checking Matoya's cave. Ooh, finds a lot of money, but not much else. Although finding about 20k, I think it was like 26,000, that's definitely a lot of money for the early game.
Quick shout out to XSidvine who just subscribed for his 13th month to Speed Gaming. Definitely appreciate the support. Thank you for being with us for so long.
So there, ooh, Hags of Thunder.
Wow.
Ow.
That seems unnatural. Water-bound creatures casting thunder.
And whoop, we have Warp and Fast at level 7. That's not good to see.
No.
And Elfland is Lefane, and I did not see what the level 7 white magic was.
I didn't catch it either, actually. We may get another look at it later, but we won't see it yet. If chat saw that, maybe they can fill us in.
And it looks like ShadowWalker is making a Marsh Cave play. Marsh Cave being one of our 3 incentivized locations, along with Ice Cave and Castle Ordeals.
Getting confirmation from chat that Exfer and A-Ice were the white magic spell.
No big loss, really.
Nope.
Alright, so Marsh Cave tends to have really, really nasty things, because scripts and abilities are shuffled, and a lot of nasty things end up being in here. So let's see how it treats ShadowWalker today.
Well, first a bat decided to get in the way. But once that was taken care of, we found the Zeus Gauntlet Array. That is a nice early find.
Oh, definitely. Free Lightning 2s forever and ever.
Let there be lightning!
And meanwhile, One Fine Day is leaving the Inner Sea, checking Melmond.
Very quick check to see what the items are we found on rack.
And no vendor item. And question in chat, does Exfer work? I believe so, yes it does. The randomizer fixed a lot of bugs that were in the vanilla game. Up to and including the intended weapon crit rates.
We're getting an early Earth Cave check.
Oh.
Or at least he's saving outside and seeing what the encounters are out there today. Now he's going in. Reset the encounter rate, it looks like.
Yeah. Yep, our high-end runners, they are able to analyze that encounter table pretty quickly.
Ice Sword!
Very nice. Very nice.
We're not used to seeing Earth Cave this early, so this is a very interesting play. He's hoping there's something big here.
And, ooh, unrunnable scums.
With glare.
With glare, too. Oh, man.
A bunch of nasty scum!
But with Fire 3, that just eliminates all of them. But you only have so much, especially when you're at level 4.
Yeah, at level 4, you're not going to have a lot of spells, and now you have a bunch of wizards to deal with. Hopefully they are runnable? They're runnable.
Yes, they are.
At level 4, it's going to be hard to run. You got away, though. And look at that! Vanilla Crown!
Vanilla Crown and the Cobras are taking it to One Fine Day in Earth Cave. Well, or at least to... although I guess the fighter with the iron armor will survive, but those unrunnable Cobras, oh boy, that's kind of annoying.
Yeah, right now, Dan Period is surviving, whereas Dan Upside Down question mark and Dan have basically perished. He's out of there. I don't blame him.
Yeah, that ice sword's definitely...
And back in.
He's going back in.
He's item hunting.
Yep, just checking that one last room on the first floor.
And he'll be out of here now. He's not going to go further, I don't think.
Oh, and a heal helmet.
He's going to walk that out.
Because I know One Fine Day at the very least sold the heal staff. That was for a good 5-digit amount.
And ShadowWalker is surviving his first trip to the Marsh Cave. That's a good sign.
Well, he hasn't gotten out yet.
Well, usually you don't get this far unless you're really unlucky.
Been there, done that.
There he is.
There we go, okay. So, with that crown, you can... Ooh, okay, he's checking
He's going to the northern chest, yeah.
Yep. With that crown, ShadowWalker can make that quick trip to Northwest Castle for that turn-in. See if we get something good there. And a white shirt!
It's almost like the game planned for them to go to the castle early today. As you're right, we got the white shirt. That'll give some extra defense later on, especially when we get to the Temple of Fiends Revisited and have some
the defense
there. The
defense sword as well. Wow.
Yep. Very nice. And Bill and Ted are now both kissing the dirt. One fine day is going to check out the wonderful items at Crescent Lake, which, if that's vanilla, we have a floater there, I'm going to be in shock.
I noticed that the zombies were using Cure 3. I'm surprised they weren't destroying themselves with that.
Yeah, they better not hit each other. That's going to be a problem.
Alright, One Fine Day on the way to Crescent Lake.
Melmond.
And it's Melmond.
We do have a very interesting flag and we'll talk about that in a second as we're getting the magic right now. We have Fear, Harm 3, Ruse, A Mute, and in the black magic we have Lit 2, Fire, Stun, Temper.
Temper's not bad. Temper's not a bad find.
And we do have an interesting flag here that is called Zozo Melmond. Do you want to explain that?
Yes. Zozo Melmond, it's a reference to Final Fantasy VI. Because in the town of Zozo, it has an encounter rate just like anywhere else in the overworld. That has been implemented here, where on the desert tiles you can get an encounter, though those are mostly undead groups and the pirates.
Indeed. So Harm is very useful to carry around Melmond if you have it with this flag on, just in case you end up running into something. Or Fire, I guess, works too. So we're finding the lovely trolls outside right now, and well, that Danny just took a really difficult hit there, so reset. And this time they get to the ship, and he's going to save on the ship. So where is he going to sail the high seas to right now? He is going into the terrain of the desert. Nope, he's going past it. I didn't think he had the floater yet. We would have saw if he had the floater.
Right. Probably check in what Elfland is from the southern side.
Is this a port that was at? Yeah, this is a port that was at. I don't remember this port.
That's vanilla.
Oh, that is a vanilla port. Okay. What I'm referring to, some of the ports and access points in the randomizer have been changed to allow more options for randomization. For example, there's a path to Dwarf Cave. Hooray! That didn't exist from Corneria. So things like that are new. I just obviously don't know all of them off by heart.
Primarily, there was that one where you can walk from Corneria to Dwarf Cave.
Yeah.
The extra progression shifts the rivers around, so you can actually walk from there down to Elfland as well. There are also docks placed near the airship desert, south of Onrak, and south of Mirage Tower.
I thought the Onmark one was vanilla too. I know Mirage Tower and the desert one were new.
Yeah, Onrak and vanilla. The only way you can get to Onrak is by airship and through the river.
And actually, now that you mention it, we actually did have a scene in this Swiss round where runners had early airship, and I think they had to sail to Onrak to get the canoe.
Oof! Ouch. And Astos has the TNT.
Now, what is a wonderful fine king doing with such explosive power? That is not... I'm sure this is fine.
And that's another not bad item to get. It's not progression, but it doesn't take... You don't have to go very far to turn that in.
No, just go north, and we're probably going to have a lazy dwarf up here to turn into. We'll find out in a moment.
Now, if, say, the TNT turned into the crystal, that would just be kind of annoying.
That would be kind of, almost vanilla. Do we have lazy dwarfs today? No, we have sailing dwarfs.
Ooh, yep, Narek has the canoe, so that gives us access to a lot of things. It gives us access to Volcano, to Ice Cave, to Castle Ordeals.
I love how ShadowWalker gave us the hooray!
It also gives us access to a Waterfall cave as well, which is nice. So you can route in the Onrak check with the Waterfall in one go.
Whoever's in chat to the king carrying TNT, Assos carrying TNT. Someone's sipping his tea while the king blows things up. This is fine.
One fine day making... oh, right. They have life too.
Yeah, they have life too. They don't have to go to the clinic today, thankfully.
Alright, so what direction is ShadowWalker heading in? Sailing the open seas, which syncs up well with the... oh, jeez.
And that hurts.
With the theme of this tournament, which was sailing the high seas.
That fits in very nicely. Unless you're getting zapped by thunder by a bunch of Zahags who don't know any better. Or actually figured out maybe they need to kill you. That's a fight we're going to choose not to take today.
So I'm thinking, just from the direction ShadowWalker's going, I think that's going to be a Crescent Lake check.
Did One Fine Day do the Northern Marsh?
I didn't notice.
If he has the white shirt, he did. I didn't catch if he went to the north side or not. I think he did, but I'm not sure.
Well, the tracker's not showing the white shirt, so I'm thinking maybe not.
No, being confirmed, he didn't. I didn't think I saw him do that. So he's just going to get his TNT turn. He's not going to worry about Northern Marsh. This could be... If it were a key item and not just the white shirt, this would be disastrous. But even so, without that white shirt, that's still going to be a little difficult.
Yeah. Definitely gives ShadowWalker an advantage for some of the later fights. Because spamming white shirt in defense is definitely not a bad idea when Kraken 2 comes calling.
Indeed. Or even Kraken 1, to be honest. Except at least that one you can kill with Brack. One Fine Day is now collecting his 424 and 2,386 gold. Hooray! So he now has 2,800 bucks in a canoe, and he's on his way out of Dwarf Cave.
And unrunnable wraiths. But they actually, that one survived a Fire 3. That one, the wraiths are a little tanky here. Good information for when we go to Ice Cave.
Yeah, may not want to fight them.
Well, you had no choice because they were on that
Oh.
particular group was unrunnable.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that would make sense. The ShadowWalker moving his white shirt down to the appropriate party member, and that may be a key item for him later because that's something One Fine Day did not pick up.
And I think we're about to see an ordeals check from One Fine Day.
That sounds like quite an ordeal.
Well, without warp, it's definitely kind of an ordeal, just because you don't have the means of backing out if one of the pillars sends you the wrong way.
I was going for the joke there, but yeah, that's absolutely right too.
So we do have one of our incentivized items here. We'll just see if it's how important it is and how tough it will be to actually get it out.
He already found one wrong path, 2 warps, and he was back in the first room, so that's a good start. Zeus Scotland on the sorcerers. Fire 3 rather. And they're down.
Thankfully, the sorcerers have been... Their lethality has been largely diminished thanks to the randomizer, because normally they have trance and death touch, and given the shuffle, things getting shuffled around, they often don't have much, and they still only like hitting a couple 4 for 4 or something like that. So
One Fine Day is finding himself warping around all over the place here, so he's having a little bit more of a challenging time with this ordeals trip. He already... Oh, that one he hadn't used yet, so is this the right one? That is going the right way. Okay, pick one. You picked the right one. Good job.
Yay! And ShadowWalker is heading to Onrak, and
Ooh.
Frost Giants have crack!
Yeah, they're showing their crack, and it's... Dave did not enjoy that.
And the Frost Giants survived that couple Fire 3 shots.
They did not survive the Quad X.
But Life 2 brings everyone back. And, ooh, it's Elfland. Alright, level 3 magic. Nuke at 3!
Nuke and Lightning 3 is good too, but Nuke is a lot better. So, Lightning 3 could be good if they, for the Black Mage in the Sea Shrine, but other than that, I can't see that getting a lot of use.
Yeah,
we'll see how...
Harm 4 in the White Magic. That's about the best there is there.
And White Magic for 4 is Invis 2, A-Rub, Mute, and something else.
Cure 3.
Or, yeah. Dark, Ice 3, Brack, and Slow. Brack for Kraken strats. Other than that, Ice 3, maybe.
Ice 3 is not a bad spell, especially if you're coming across waters, because when you're coming against something that's weak against Ice, Ice 3 can actually be better than Nuke.
This is case of... Go ahead.
Question in chat, where was the white shirt in defense? It was at the top of Marsh. One Fine Day only checked the bottom of Marsh. Didn't even bother checking the top.
I didn't even mention the defense sword when I was mentioning the difference there. That's also a very nice item that will give ShadowWalker a bit of an edge as he does his travels here, whereas One Fine Day doesn't have that or the white shirt.
And we're seeing that the mummies have Scorch. When coming in huge groups like that, that can definitely be hazardous.
We have a Pro Cape in Ordeals. Now, ShadowWalker will eventually come across that when he goes to Ordeals, but right now that's something One Fine Day can use instead of the items he's not picking up for Spectre Defense. We're getting a Waterfall check already.
Yep, and the rod is at Ordeals.
Ooh. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's get a look at Out of Bounds Bat. Maybe we'll get to see it, maybe we won't. It's like a shiny Pokemon. You only get to see it live. You only get one chance to see it. It's gone after that.
And we got unrunnable Mudgalls, though one quick nuke takes them out quickly enough. But they do tend to hit pretty hard, so seeing... ow.
That... I would say that Ted is having a nightmare.
Especially considering that was the one that had the Life 2 charges.
Oh, that would really hurt, yes. Of course, once the fighter grows up, he'll be able to use it too, given the level it's at, I believe. But yeah, right now that hurts.
Yep. Question in chat. Yes, Life 2 was Red Mage learnable. And the incentive item in Ordeals was the Rod.
So we're at the Oasis. We found tents, cabins, houses, piers, and heals.
Yeah, still no vendor item yet. I think the only other place we haven't seen the item shop from would be Provoca.
Sounds right.
Nope, we haven't seen Crescent Lake either.
Yeah, that's true. I think they're both airship accessible, so that would be why.
Yeah, because they would be at the Vanilla Gaia and Lefane locations.
Exactly. Which means we saw Lou Paw somewhere, and neither of us pointed out. So we're coming close to the robot room in Waterfall Cave. So let's see if Out of Bounds Bat shows up today. Not too far away. Well, after this perilous intermission. One Fine Day is exploring the fine open area of Elfland right now. And checking out his white magic. And he does pick up Cure 3 for, I believe, his white mage.
And Inf 2 as well. More healing is better than less healing.
Indeed. And we did not see Out of Bounds Bat on ShadowWalker's side, unfortunately. So he's going to go with the Trap Tile, Mummies, and... Oh boy, it's an ambush with Scorch.
Yeah,
Ooh.
those... Yep, the mummies are ambushing, but they don't seem to be using Scorch that often, so
No.
that's... So thank goodness for small favors.
Thank goodness for fortune. We can finally get that nuke off after about 11 attacks. And the Wizard Mummies are sturdy enough to survive that. And other nukes should take them out. There they go.
Oh yeah, definitely. Alright, so what will we get out of Waterfall? Since I don't think we hadn't seen Exit, and I think was Warpin 7? Did we see it there, or was that...
Well, let's see what we have here. There's a heal helmet, at least. The rest of it is money, and the incentive item, the
It's
ruby.
a ruby. Oh my.
Crunch, crunch, crunch.
Oh dear.
Will we feed the Titan today? Time will tell. One Fine Day is on his way to Robot Room, and he's having a much better trek through this cave than ShadowWalker did. That's really his first encounter. Maybe second.
Yeah, and no warp, no exit. ShadowWalker's gotta walk this out. But that was really not a good waterfall cave. Just a whole bunch, just a whole bunch of money and a ruby and a heal helmet.
And again, no Out of Bounds Bat. So Out of Bounds Bat doesn't want to make an appearance today. So let's see what we got here. We have Falconic already calling for a starter lock floater in our chat. So this is that sounds promising.
That is true. We can check Sarda now. You'd have to go through the Titan's tunnel to do that.
But we never know. There could be an incentive item down locked in the area past the Titan 2, which you have to feed the Titan to get down there too. So that could be where the floater is.
Possible. And Ochos have thunder as well. Oh my.
The sea enemies are fighting back today. My goodness. Oh, and the Naochos also have a regular lit, so this is good.
Yeah, Lightning 1, that's not bad. That's not bad.
And now One Fine Day needs the kind of robot to move. Thank you. And he's going to walk his items out. All that money. He does not know how expensive the vendor item is yet. Of course, neither do we.
Yep, it could be anywhere from a few thousand to the max price of, what, 65,000 and change.
65,535.
I think the cheapest I'd ever seen was like maybe 1,000 and change, and that was in a shopping corner area. I forget what the item was, though, but oh well.
Clearly not important. So ShadowWalker is indulging in the fine selection of cabins found in Elfland. Those elfin cabins, there's something about them, I tell you.
Question in chat: why does One Fine Day have only 3 characters? Because they decided to only have 3 characters.
Yeah, he literally had an empty slot in his menu, and again, I don't know if ShadowWalker is aware of that or not, because obviously they're not supposed to know what they're doing in each other's game. But I don't know if One Fine Day mentioned anything about doing a 3-man party to him or not. So if not, this will be news for him when we finish the race as well.
Yeah, and I'm a little surprised that I hadn't seen it more often. Like, 'cause I had considered doing this myself in my races. I just opted not to, ultimately, because having 4 characters at least gives you some extra options.
Yes. But forcing yourself into a 3-man party right away does mean the experiences are going to remain divided 3 ways at most. That's the one advantage of doing this.
Yeah.
But like you said, having the extra options, just in case something goes seriously wrong, is not a bad idea. But also, we just come down to doing it fastest, and One Fine Day is trying to do it faster by having only 3 men.
Yeah, because goodness knows how many runners end up doing 3-man strats at some point in the run. Anyway, One Fine Day just decided to just do it right from the beginning.
If it works out today, who knows? We might see a trend for this in the brackets, or even during the play-in races coming up next weekend.
Yeah, if it works, it works.
Yeah.
That's a ShadowWalker going through ordeals. We'll be getting his rod soon. And what direction is One Fine Day going in?
That peninsula looks like the Elfland area, if I'm reading this right. No, that's the Sarda area. That's Titan's Cave.
Probably go back around, back to Melmond, and then probably check Sarda from there.
Going down to Earth Cave. Obviously can't park there. So no extra docks in this area, unfortunately.
Yep.
Can you imagine if they just put a dock south of Sarda? That'd be too easy.
So I get this play, because checking Sarda is definitely a shorter... I would think it would be a shorter check than checking ice at this point. Although with Fire 3 and Nuke, Ice Cave shouldn't be that much of a threat right now.
There's a lot of discussion in chat that they think the floater is in, and I'm going to quote, Kraken's toilet. So we already have some predictions that's going to be in the Sea Shrine as the Titan gets fed by One Fine Day. Crunch, crunch. Not checking the chest below yet. May come back and check those on the way out. But he's more interested in what the actual incentive item is at Sarda right now. And the other 4 we'll get to.
So, do we have a Ruby Lock floater?
We have a crystal.
Well, we don't have an answer to that question yet, but it's...
So, that could still lead to the herb, which could lead to the, let's see, what else could be a fresh quest here? The adamant,
bottle,
which could in turn to the float. Yeah, which could lead to the bottle, which could then lead to the floater. You never know.
And yep, we are checking these 4 chests down here. Soft potion, saber, money, and more money.
I'm sorry, the incentivized item you're looking for is in another chest. Please try again. Oh, we're gonna get another Earth Cave dive. We may actually finish Earth Cave this time.
Well, we
has the rod.
Yeah, have the rod, so we can finish this place off now.
And ShadowWalker is going to be getting his rod.
And seeing those unrunnable cobras again.
At least he's more level to deal with them this time if he needs to.
Or just having stuff like the Zeus Gauntlet will help just by itself. Well, there's a katana.
Ooh,
and a ribbon. Ooh.
Now,
so,
you're going to say that? Go ahead.
I think we're both on the same wavelength here. That ribbon could be one of the loose incentivized items. We don't know yet.
And until we actually see what all the characters give out, the characters you talk to, until we see what all of them give out, we can't answer that question yet either. We know 2 will be in chests, one of them may not be. So that's one of the 2. At this point, we know that it's not necessarily given out by the characters. The third one, we don't know whether it is or not yet.
Question chat. No, One Fine Day did check Ruby. Sarda had the crystal.
Now that crystal could still lead to something, so we still could have a Titan locked something.
Yeah, possibly. And got an ice shield. That's some very good equipment.
That's acceptable. At the very least, it's good money for the vendor item if they can't use it, but he may use it.
Not to mention the fighter has flame armor as well, so that's 2 good elemental resistances.
I love how our Blake party member still shows us level 1.
Well, it's not getting experience.
Indeed.
And comment in chat regarding leaving that crystal unchecked for now. I see that, but I also see just clearing Earth, because you're already in the area, and if you're coming back here just to clear Earth, it's a bit of a time kill, a little bit at least.
It's a long walk to get out of here because you don't have the airship as well. So
that too.
Without the airship, you have a long trip just to get wherever you need to go, and then you're going to waste time coming back, especially if you still don't have the airship. And you have to sail back here again without the airship. So, of course, usually a lot of runners will be able to do Earth last, but getting it out of the way now just makes sense.
Not to mention clearing out all these chests. Finding that ribbon has already made that worthwhile.
It has. That's something ShadowWalker may not get to for a while, but he is going to start it right now, so he may make the Earth play too, because again, he has the rod. He may follow right behind One Fine Day and do this. As One Fine Day finds the wonderful, wonderful array of wizards who are, I'm sure, happy to welcome... Never mind, they're dead.
And they are hurting. They hit pretty hard, too. It was like 3 hits for like 118, I think that was.
I thought I saw 117 or something like that myself. That's a heavy hit. So, again, they have to heal after these encounters. Unless they keep attacking Dan, period, who can handle it. ShadowWalker checks his 4 chests immediately as he leaves. And he's now going to exit. And let's see if he makes the dip down to Earth Cave. Which he hasn't checked the first 4 at all yet, so he's going to have a longer trip down here.
Mm-hmm.
Here are the images. We have a preview of Ice Cave here. They didn't really do much, though. And there's our Earth Trap Tile. Earth is runnable. I believe in the vanilla game they're not runnable.
That is correct. Them have... Yep, them, the fires, and I believe the waters as well.
Yeah, you're correct. I think the air is runnable.
Yeah.
Dan is stunned. Dan, exclamation mark, is stunned. Danny is the only running option right now and is using the Zeus Gauntlet. So it looks like one of these wolf characters has stun touch. Stinger has caused some poison. Dan is cured of his being stunned. Dan, exclamation mark, is still paralyzed. The Zeus Gauntlet finally does the kill, but now we have 2 characters poisoned.
No, yeah, they have pure. One Fine Day has pure potions.
Yep, and looks like One Fine Day is greeting the wonderful, wonderful denizen of the cave who...
And
is there someone there?
Briefly. Very briefly.
I saw someone, but then I just saw a blue smudge on the ground.
Alright, and ShadowWalker is turning in the crystal. Let's see what we get.
This could be interesting right here. Let's see. It is the floater!
It is the floater. Oh, wow.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a ruby-locked floater. You had to go to Sarda to get the crystal, and then you can get the floater. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be huge for ShadowWalker right now. One Fine Day, I'm sure, will be going up there next. ShadowWalker, by the way, didn't do Earth Cave yet. So I'm pretty sure that One Fine Day will be coming up here next. We'll see if I'm right on that or not. But getting Earth Cave out of the way now is something that ShadowWalker will have to do later. So that's going to be a slight advantage of his own for one fine day, and he just has to make sure to go to get the floater next, or he's going to fall way behind, because ShadowWalker will have the travel advantage if he doesn't do that.
Right, and more often than not, Earth Cave ends up being one of the last dungeons that gets done in a lot of these races, so when ShadowWalker comes through Earth, we'll probably be go-moding the whole thing.
He will, but one fine day is hoping to find something in Earth, and that was his entire plan for that, so he can go-mode something else.
I said, finding that ribbon in Earth was definitely something in One Fine Day's favor, and indeed. Gaia has Crescent Lake, and it... Nope.
That means we know where Provoca is.
And we know where the vendor item is, too.
I missed what it was. What is it?
It's in Provoca.
Oh, what? Oh, you know, it's in Provoca. Okay.
And we have Fade at level 6.
I didn't like this spell selection. Slow 2, stop. So we're going to go visit the Circle of Sage. Wait, did I say Circle of Sages? Looks like they've been off their meds again.
Yeah, they're just wandering about, as is their wont.
I guess it's happy hour here or something like that. They're just chatting. Oh, and they're giving off the finest herbs.
Uh-huh. Well, when you're stuck in the mountains with nothing else to do.
Makes sense. So time to see what's at Provoca.
Yep. So, well, we're guaranteed to have 2 incentivized items. One from the pirates, one from the vendor item. Plus, we get information regarding level 2 magic, and we see if there's either gold bracelet or pro ring, which probably has been seen. I just didn't notice it yet. And One Fine Day making quick work of Lich.
Yeah, I was going to say, meanwhile, we have One Fine Day encountering something, but I think that was even worse than the other speed bump. That only lasted 1 turn.
The vampire only lasted 1 turn, too.
Yeah, true.
And
we have Bane at level 2.
Bane at 2. Ice 2 as well, but we have so much better attack magic right now.
Exit is level 2.
Exit, nice.
So we had to go through the horrors and tribulations of not having the floater to get that. Well, maybe we could have got it without the floater. Or before. No, we could have got the floater. Yeah, we didn't have to do ordeals yet, I think, to do that.
How would exit help in ordeals?
It wouldn't. I'm just saying they could. Yeah, it wouldn't have helped in that case. But where was it they had... Oh, Marsh is where they had to warp from.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think back whether they would need the floater to...
And the pirates had an incentivized ribbon. And there's the tail for sale for about 7,300.
So there's our answer to the ribbon posing question from earlier. Was the ribbon in the chest one of our loose items? No, it was not. We still have 2 loose items.
Okay.
And One Fine Day, as I thought, is picking up the floater, and he's going to be very happy to acquire his mode of transportation. Gonna probably book it straight down to there.
So, checking our list of items we haven't seen yet. We haven't seen cube, adamant, key, loot, bottle, and oxyale. Assuming I hadn't missed any, 2 of those are going to be loose.
Well, ShadowWalker does settle down in the land, finds some wyverns very quickly, and decides, you know what, I'm going to try this again. But this time I'm going to save.
I would say if bottle is... Comment in chat, if bottle is loose, I would say it would have to be required. Because then it would have to lead to something good.
It would have to lead to something else. Yeah, the cube. What else is there? The cube, the adamant, the bottle, the loot. There's 2 items you said that I'm missing there.
Like I said, the loot, the key, the bottle, oxyale.
Oh, the key.
Bottle, oxyale, adamant, and cube. So we had already seen the quote-unquote optional ones, being the tail, and I guess technically the ruby, but it wasn't optional today.
Did they pick up the slab yet?
No, I don't think we'd seen the slab either.
Yeah, so the slab is added to that list. Mr. Dragon, please. Thank you. Oh, well, there's a sense of deja vu. Both chests had 2,153 gold next to each other.
Huh, that's weird.
That is weird. Just as weird as if they had two.
Not a heck of a lot in the Cardia Isles today, though.
No, just a lot of money and a lot of nothing. The rune sword was good enough for him, it looks like.
And we did find the Thor hammer, though. That wasn't bad.
Yeah, that's not bad. Being asked if one fine day missed the tail. Was the tail the vendor item? Because if so,
Tail was the vendor item and has just got...
Yeah, he's at Provoker right now, so he'll be getting the tail right now in that case. ShadowWalker back on the main continent, gonna land at Corneria, and going to shop the finest selection of magic in level 1, which is heal 3. Very much useful. Life 3, very much useful for his fighter, and the fighter is going to be well equipped now.
Oh yeah, having life 2 on your knight is a huge, huge thing.
Knight, that's what I meant.
And one fine day, getting ribbon number 2.
ShadowWalker sells out for the inevitable trip to the Cave of Ice. So let's see if Ice Cave has any really nasties in it today, or whether it's actually going to be very tame. I've seen lately it's been very tame. But boy, do I remember some of those nasty ones I've seen in the last tournament.
I've seen some nasty ones in this tournament myself. Ones I've had to experience personally.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that was friendly.
Between Nuke and Fire 3, this place shouldn't be that hard.
Agreed. So we have a bunch of 6 images and a Wraith who, well, again, fire pretty much wipes them out. Oh, 2 survived. So they ran away without experience. Nice.
That's how it goes sometimes.
Mm-hmm. So one fine day is going to find the finest selection of Dragon Gold, and eventually going to be promoting. There's his Thor hammer, and more money. ShadowWalker going through the Force Mage encounter.
And without the warp spell, we'll have to get that incentivized chest a long way.
Yep. More money. And one fine day about to open Deja Vu chests.
My thought on why those values were the same is I'm thinking each gold value in the chest is randomized, and like say if that was like a 3,000 gold chest or something, each 3,000 one was randomized to the same amount or something.
I think
that's just my theory.
I thought the gold was just specific amounts that are randomized between like any other item, because there's always a 2, there always seems to be a 4 in there.
Well, I know there's some. I think in vanilla there is a 2 gold chest. I think. Oh, there's an opal shield. I didn't see that.
There is. He just got that in. He just found a cap here and more money. I think he's leaving the ball cap behind.
Ah, okay. So apparently I was right about the gold randomization. Okay.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Technically, I didn't either. I was just making a reasonable guess.
Mm-hmm. 3,000 gold chests will all be randomized to the same value. Okay, interesting. So that was your 3,000 gold chest that we just found.
Or just using that as an example, really.
Yeah. That's why some of the chests are usually the same. Okay, interesting.
And there's ice armor, but I think we already had flame armor, so. And one fine day turning in the herb. I don't think we had seen this check.
Bottle.
Oh, and it's the bottle. Okay. And we do know where Gaia is. It's at Provoca, so we'll check that login.
We also know where the loot is.
Oh, there's our first loose incentive item, and the eye is unrunnable. Not that it really matters much because it has very little HP.
Oh, the slab. The loot and the slab, both in Ice Cave. The loot as a random item, the slab as the incentivized item. And we are grinding eyes, which sounds a lot more disgusting than it actually is.
Well, you have Quad X. Might as well just use up all your spell slots and exit out. You've already checked everything else in here.
Indeed, it's not like he has to walk out.
I believe he had already learned to exit on the Red Wizard, so it's like once you're done, you just boom out. And the fairy has the cube.
I didn't know she was interested in Rubik's Cubes.
Well, maybe she got sick of it and told us to solve it instead.
Yeah, I guess it's hard for fairies to solve. One fine day, going to ruin the paint job on that airship doing that. ShadowWalker is going to go to the good doctor and learn a language in the matter of about a second. So, Lupa is now actual understandable English.
Double checking what's at the magic shops. Ah, yes, temper at 5.
Ah, yes, temper. Nothing else of worth in that shop, though.
And one fine day is exploring Mirage Tower.
Yeah, I just saw that too. So far, just minimal amounts of gold in a lot of these chests. Ooh, katana is nice though.
Oh, there's our second katana, worth is pretty much just for money at this point.
Yeah.
And Lufane has the Oxyale.
Yay, breathing.
It's ever-present carbonation. What a wonderful world we live in.
And ShadowWalker takes the bottle himself, so both riders now have that bottle. Machine ShadowWalker is going to once again take to the skies and explore the contents of the bottle.
It's going in the wrong way for that.
Nope, he's going to Malmwood first. I think he's taking
which is where Unrack is.
Yeah, he thought that was something else.
Might have thought that was Gaia by accident.
Mm-hmm. Looks over Crescent Lake. No,
question is Chime the other loose item? It'll be either... I'm thinking it's probably actually the adamant which would turn into the Chime.
Yeah, if the Chime is the only other required item we still have, most likely the adamant is going to be the loose item, and that's where the Chime will come from. If those are the only two things left, I would say that has to be what we have at this point, most likely.
Right, and the key as well. There's also the key.
So the key could be loose, and the Chime could be locked behind the key doors. We don't know that either. But they have Chime. They have Chime. One fine days in Mirage Tower. Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. We can't even think apparently.
But yeah, it's largely adamant and key at this point.
Adamant and key, which, if that's all that we have left, neither is really required. I don't think.
Well, no, the key is required.
Oh, the key is required. Yeah, that's how. Sorry, yeah, I know that. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you need it in Temple Fiends Revisitor. You can't move past that one room.
So if those are the two, the only one left, we've seen the incentivized ribbon. So
We have.
So that
Yeah.
means that adamant has to be loose, and the blacksmith has the key.
You're absolutely correct. Adamant has to lead the key. Otherwise, it wouldn't be possible to visit the dwarf, so you have to be able to get something other than the adamant from that dwarf, so adamant has to be loose.
And ShadowWalker checking the volcano armory.
Question,
Ooh,
do we
armor.
have... Question, chat, do we have Brack? I think Brack was definitely within the first 5 levels. I forget which one, though. But
I think it was at...
Options Day.
I think it was at 3.
Yeah, I think it was... I thought
no,
it was...
No, Nuke was at 3.
I thought it was at 2, but it could be at 5.
No, it wasn't at 5.
It must have been at 2, then.
Well, there's the opal bracelet for One Fine Day, and
Black
the black shirt for ShadowWalker.
So ShadowWalker has the finest selection of clothing, both white and black clothing. One Fine Day may come upon that eventually, but I don't think he's going to go back to that white shirt in Marsh Cave.
No, unfortunately. Unless that loose adamant is really in a weird place.
And even then, he would have to, he'll probably do Marsh Cave is one of the last locations. Unless it's locked in a key lock chest, then he might check it just for kicks.
I don't think it can be key locked.
Oh, no, it can't be key locked. You're right. Yeah, so... Yeah, he's never going to go back to Marsh. There's no way.
And apparently chat confirms that Brack was at 4.
Oh, it was at 4. Okay.
And the bad men have Cure. And Dazzle.
I just saw Dazzle.
There are worse things for the bad men to have, for sure.
Curing themselves is a little annoying, though.
Yeah, question from chat, what are we missing for Go Mode? We're pretty much just missing the key, which we know is locked behind the adamant, which is somewhere.
Yeah, we know the adamant is loose, but as for where the adamant is, the red giant gets sent to another dimension or something along those lines, so that was easy. And more men who are bad on One Fine Day side.
Men who are bad that cast spells of healing.
Bad men who are only thinking about themselves with their healing spells. Shame.
There's the power gauntlet.
That's nice to find for
Power
ShadowWalker.
Yep. Power bonk for ShadowWalker. Very nice.
And after this Grey Worm intermission, we'll check this last chest. ShadowWalker checking the power gauntlet chest again, because why not?
If you're ever not sure, check it twice.
Yep. Better than leaving it behind.
And when you're down to just these last couple, you're checking every chest.
Except
if you don't, you're worried that one chest you don't check is going to have the...
He didn't check that one chest, though, because I think that item is shared with a different chest, if I remember reading that correctly.
I believe so, yes. If you checked everything up to that point, that third chest in that room will have nothing. I don't remember what it's linked with, but...
Something else in Fire Cave, in the volcano, I think.
And the Agamas apparently are kind of tanky today.
Is that an Agama fact I hear?
Well, regarding this seed, yes.
Yeah.
Triple Shield. Pro Ring, though I think One Fine Day has already decided not to take it, must have already stocked up on Pro Rings.
I think he saw Pro Cape earlier, and that was in Ordeals.
Well, Pro Ring and Pro Cape are not the same thing.
No, they're not, but I'm just saying, I know we saw that earlier.
I think Ordeals had 2 of them, actually.
Oh, it was a 2? I don't remember that. So, we're going to have our first Fiend fight for ShadowWalker tonight. Let's see what Carrie has. Well, Okay, we are gonna find out, and that was a
Okay,
hit.
carry hits pretty hard, but well, that nuke was a low roll.
Oh, and we've lost two light warriors now.
Oh, and still has a decent amount of health left. The quad X didn't work.
So there's 352. Defense sword is used, and 24 is not enough for Dave. That'll take a while to knock Dave out. So there's the XXX. That's termination.
And that's our first orblit for ShadowWalker at about 56 minutes.
And where is ShadowWalker going to find himself now? He does still have to find the adamant, just like One Fine Day does. He is going to go to Mirage Tower, and so far he's not going to find it here.
So far, yes.
Yeah, keywords, so far. And right now, if it is here, this is going to possibly be... this could be bad in a sense for One Fine Day, because he still has a couple items to find. The loot... Actually, that's just the one item really to find. The loot is still out there. Which one was the loot locked by again?
Oh,
Ice Cave.
Yeah, the loot was the loose one in ice.
That's right. Actually, that was the loose one. I'm trying to remember what the incentive item was there now.
That was the slab.
Oh, that was the slab. Okay. And that was where the bottle was, I think.
Yes. And One Fine Day checking the right half of this sunburst / spider / whatever you want to call it room.
I'll just call it that room. Ooh,
Money and there's a third ribbon.
All three ribbons have been accounted for.
Yep, and since One Fine Day is only running 3 party members, that's a ribbon for everybody.
Yep, everyone has a ribbon. You get a ribbon, you get a ribbon, you get a ribbon. Everyone gets a ribbon. Oh, Vorpal.
There's the Vorpal sword for One Fine Day.
I also am noticing, and I just find this hilarious, that the blank party member is still able to carry items.
Yeah, that's free storage.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
I guess at this part I'm imagining the One Fine Days group just carrying a steamer trunk behind them. Question in chat: what's the benefit of only 3 party members? Well, if anything, each fight gives each party member more XP for one. That's probably the biggest advantage.
That is a huge advantage. The experience will be split up 3 ways to 4 ways, whereas most riders end up having to kill somebody to do that, and then try to keep them around for options later. Then I guess that's a little less babysitting that One Fine Day has to do, keeping that 4th party member alive. Instead of worrying about that, just gonna go with 3.
Okay, so I haven't seen what was in the greater than less than room. Best things there was a gold bracelet and a light axe.
I didn't see a lot to talk about there myself.
I just missed it when One Fine Day went through there.
So One Fine Day uses his warp to get out, his exit. We have cabin, we have a heal potion, we have silver helmet, we have 1205 gold, cabin, heal potion, nothing in that room.
So if Sky has nothing, I think the only other place left would be C, right?
That might be, yeah. Could be on the mermaids. Falchion and 2386. This could come down to a mermaid play or not. Now, here's the logic that I have behind this. If I don't think ShadowWalker has not checked Earth Cave yet. He's going to need to be thorough. By the way, before I talk about that, get your blessed RNGs in chat, ladies and gentlemen. We are 1-4 away from the Bridge of Destiny, which means we are looking for a robot chicken. If you want to see the robot chicken, you must summon him with your blessed RNGs, your take NRGs, your whatever emote you have, robot chicken emotes, whatever you have, put it in the chat, and let's try to summon a robot chicken today. So I think ShadowWalker's, and actually same for One Fine Day, who hasn't done the volcano yet. They're both going to probably have to make the... look at that!
Oh, wow! First encounter!
And he runs away. What? Wow. So much for a robot chicken. We had the robot chicken scared the party away. We might get another one, because that was early. But, oh well.
So the thing is, neither of our runners has been to sea, and they, well, One Fine Day doesn't have sail yet. There's another Warmeg!
I love it!
Oh my.
You will fight me! I demand you'll fight me! They rolled high on the encounter table today, apparently.
Yep, oh, there's a herd! Warmeg is persistent today! Oh
you
my.
must fight me! I demand you fight me!
So, regarding the how common Warmeg is, apparently the encounter rarity is kind of shuffled along with everything else. So normally Warmeg is kind of a rare encounter, but apparently it got shuffled into something that's less rare.
I don't know if Woke else is out there watching this right now, but he would probably be giggling right now because he had 3 in his race, and I think he fought him in his race. But One Fine Day just ran away.
Well, if you're not comfortable with fighting Warmeg with what you have, or at least doing that and living to get to Tiamat afterwards.
Yeah, exactly. That's what you have to consider. Are you going to be able to make it and get through Tiamat after dealing with a massive robot who, by the way, the middle game is unrunnable, I think.
I think so. Not to mention, how are we supposed to know that he's going to get 3 of them? So even if you fought the first one, if he had fought the first one, the second or third one might have taken him out, and that would have been a huge setback.
Can you imagine if it was unrunnable and he had to fight all 3 of them?
That would have been harsh.
It
a huge bit of experience if he had survived.
It would have been great experience. Yeah, it would have been great experience.
But Tiamat goes down, air orb is lit, and One Fine Day is moving on. So One Fine Day has not been to Ice Cave, so as such doesn't have the slab. And with the Oxyale, it was actually the Oxyale was at Lefane, and the bottle was at the herb turn-in.
So I didn't even get to talk about what I was going to talk about earlier because I was just giggling at the Warmex appearing one after another. I was going to say that both runners have another cave to check besides Sea Shrine. We have Firewalker, who has not checked Earth Cave yet. We have One Fine Day, who had not checked the volcano yet, but he's going to do that right now, because why not? So I was going to say that both runners would have a good chance of going to the Mermaid Floor at that point. It looks like One Fine Day doing the volcano first may not need to go to the Mermaid Floor. We know that the item he needs is not here. So that means that ShadowWalker goes to the Sea Shrine next and gets into go mode while One Fine Day is still searching chests. That's going to be huge for him, and that could lead to him pulling off a race and going to 4-1 against our 4-0 One Fine Day.
Mm-hmm. And ShadowWalker would definitely be more likely to check Shrine before checking Earth.
I think so.
It's just unfortunate that Mirage and Sky didn't really have a heck of a lot. I guess there was the one ribbon and the Vorpal, and I don't think there was much else.
Yeah, there's a Vorpal right there. He'll be happy to have that Vorpal nonetheless, and I'm sure the ribbon too, as he gets the ghostly door on top of the room. That's interesting. I've seen that before in the Minnow game too.
Yeah, that's not really a hard glitch to do if you know about it.
Yeah, I know. I've done that before. I think you have to menu in the door to do that.
Yeah. So I believe One Fine Day is about to get the black shirt, which is good, which would be a nice find.
Yep. No, that's the ribbon, actually. Oh, black. Oh, One Fine Day. Yeah, he just got the black shirt. I was looking at ShadowWalker's side.
Ah, yeah.
So One Fine Day takes advantage of his warp to go back a floor, and then just travels through the staircases.
Makes for a shorter, safer trip.
Slightly. If you consider walking through fire, it'd be safer.
Well, you're going to be walking through the fire either which way.
Indeed.
So while our runners are pretty much treading common ground here, give our runners a follow. They've been putting on a pretty good show for us today.
And their links are in chat. And for those watching on our YouTube channel, watching after the fact, just to clarify, the Twitch names for them are ShadowWalker227 and 1 followed by the number 1 Fine Day. Those are their Twitch names. So twitch.tv followed by either of those names. You can follow those runners on Twitch and thank them for the fine racing. And also hang out with them and get to know them a little bit. So something you can do as a little bonus thing to hang out with the runners. They love having the company, I'm sure.
And One Fine Day finding that power gauntlet.
And finding it again, because he had to drop something.
Right. Because you only have you can only carry 16 weapons and 16 pieces of armor in this game.
Yeah, this was back in the day when memory was scarce and you had to actually manage your inventory. Nowadays, you just carry so much stuff with you. It's unreal.
Mm-hmm.
And then the question still exists: how can they carry all that stuff?
Well, in regards to armor, the stuff that they're equipped, they're carrying it on them.
No, I meant the other stuff.
Well, I mean, in One Fine Day's case, he's got the steamer trunk.
Yeah.
Well, I recognize that encounter that ShadowWalker just got, I think. Well, okay, maybe... I don't know if he's on the same encounter cycle that One Fine Day is. But I guess we'll find out shortly, won't we?
Well, we're going to find out if we have the robot chickens on his side shortly and whether he decides to partake in the experience. One Fine Day, meanwhile, is on the carry floor, and he's about to meet the hit like a truck carry. All right, it's time, almost.
Yeah, Carry is built for hugging. Carry is built for punching as well, and at least Carry 1 is very good at it.
So ShadowWalker has not found the chicken on his first encounter. He gets the R Hydra cycle. So he's going to run away from that. And there's more R Hydras. So no War Mech yet. This is actually strange because One Fine Day had, I think, 3 and 5 encounters. We've already had 2 encounters with ShadowWalker with none. So moving along.
And the Red Hydras weren't very tough. I probably would have taken those fights for the extra XP.
Yeah, it probably wouldn't be a bad idea, but he must feel he needs to hurry up because this is One Fine Day who's 4-0, so he doesn't want to waste time, I don't think. Stinger from the air. We have no War Mechs from ShadowWalker so far.
Well, the trip across the bridge isn't over yet.
Yeah, he's close, though. Now the trip across the bridge is pretty much over.
Question, are both players in go mode? No, we are not. We are still missing... One Fine Day is still missing the loot and the slab, which will turn into the Oxyale. And both runners are still missing the key, which is locked behind the adamant, which is somewhere in the world.
Most likely in Sea Shrine at this point, the adamant.
Yeah. It's either... Well, I think... Didn't ShadowWalker... No, we don't have the key. It's not going to be in key locked anything.
It can't be key locked anything. Yeah, we included that earlier. The final orb has been lit. The third orb. It's the final orb we've seen today, but the third orb for ShadowWalker, I believe, has been lit.
No, that's only the second. ShadowWalker hasn't been to Earth yet.
I was saying the final one we've seen.
Oh, right.
All four have been lit by different runners.
Well, no, we haven't. No one's been to Shrine yet.
Yeah, I'll get that right eventually. Yeah, neither runner's been to Shrine. You're right.
Well, I guess that's why there's two of us. But one fine day, actually, getting that warp at level 7 and making use of it, making this trip through ice a little bit faster.
He does get a slab as well, so he is all set for that. And yeah, one fine day, ShadowWalker does need to go to Earth. That is still on his agenda, but Sea Shrine is going to be first. This is probably the better play because we think we're almost 100% sure at this point that something he needs, aka the adamant, has to be here. Not that.
So I see he's going left side first. Interesting.
This is very interesting for him to do that because with Earth Cave still on the agenda, I would probably prioritize the mermaids first. If he had already done Earth Cave and cleaned out Earth Cave, then yes, I would say go to Kraken side first, see if you find it on the way down, then go into go mode. If you don't find it then you know it's likely on the mermaid floor. We have lobsters with glare.
Ooh, yeah, lobsters with glare. Ouch.
And if there's one thing you don't want, it's your lunch glaring at you. Or dinner, as the case may be.
But we have plenty of life 2s, so that up he goes.
Up and at him, soldier!
This is where having 2 ribbons is a good thing.
It can be, yes. Now, I can still hit through the ribbon, but it's very, very rare, I believe, right?
Yeah, there's always that, 3 in 256 chance.
Something like that.
Pretty much just like almost anything, like Baning Chaos or whatnot.
I think we actually saw runners in the tournament who've actually been hitting with the ribbon and just caused a change in the result because of it.
Yeah. Yeah, getting like baned or zapped through a ribbon is never a pleasant experience.
Never fun.
Yeah, question, why does One Fine Day not have a full party? Because you chose not to have one during party generation.
Yeah, this is an option I didn't even know existed, and I said this much earlier, to be honest. So, having a 3-man party will allow all the experience to be split between the party members that he has instead of having to worry about babysitting a fourth one. Quote-unquote babysitting.
So I find it interesting. I'm finding it interesting that ShadowWalker chose this path to go through the Sharknado floor.
He's checking the chests?
Yeah, normally when people go through this one, they start at the bottom and kind of work their way around. Okay, but I guess the Sharknado room has the 5 chests in it. It has the largest chest density.
Probably
Makes sense to check those first.
He wants to try and find it as quickly as possible, so he's going with the chest density. Well, we have our adamant here. No, we have... I'm going to do math on Twitch. This is dangerous. 1,293 gold in that room.
Oh, there's a Bane sword. And
there's
the adamant. Adamant's on left, Kraken side shrine, and he's not checking anything else.
That last chest, you can stay there. I don't need you anymore.
Yep, question. ShadowWalker has done ice. Since,
Now,
so
One Fine Day is in the Sea Shrine. I would have avoided the Mermaid for yet, because at this point, Kraken is his last fiend. I would have checked going down to Kraken and not worry about the Mermaid for until after I don't find the Adamant. So he's going to waste time up here when we now know the Adamant is on the left side. This is a play that ShadowWalker is not going to have to make because he went towards Kraken first. So I think this is a bit of a weaker play from One Fine Day in this scenario. Especially because he already has 3 orbs lit. If he only had 1 or 2 orbs lit, I would say this is a good play. But with 3 orbs lit, this is not a good play in my opinion.
Not to mention that aside from the adamant that we know is not on the mermaid side, the best thing that One Fine Day can hope to find would be dragon armor, I think. Maybe Aegis Shield?
But at this point, ShadowWalker's going to be going in Temple of Fiends Revisited well ahead of One Fine Day. We'll take a nasty Temple of Fiends Revisited or Topher in order to put One Fine Day back in this race with the death somewhere in Kraken 2 or Tiamat 2 or even Chaos himself.
Good chat mentioning Excal and Masmune. That is correct. That we have not seen those yet.
Yeah, Masmune could be over here in the hidden room over here. We don't know that.
Unfortunately not.
Wishful thinking.
Oh,
by the way, release the cat. Never mind. Oh, I forgot ShadowWalker still has Earth Cave to do, so this could still be close to going in Temple of Fiends Revisited.
Possibly, yeah.
But ShadowWalker is going to go mode this Earth Cave, so he should still be ahead.
Yeah, just go straight through Earth while One Fine Day will still be checking chests until getting that adamant.
Which is back on the 2nd floor, I believe. Right before Kraken's floor.
Yes. On the Sharknado floor, yeah.
Right. And One Fine Day is getting a lot of encounters in here, so that's not helping him any.
Well, it's any XP is good XP.
Yeah, XP, I guess. Oh, is that a key lock room?
Yes, it is.
Oh, he can't go in there. Interesting. I didn't know that.
It's amazing what we discovered with randomizing things. We kind of figured out where all the key lock chests are out in the outer regions of things, because normally it would be kind of irrelevant because you'd already have the key by then. And the only way you would have known is if you had checked the door before going in.
Yeah, and that's something that when I was playing the game vanilla a long time ago, I used to do that. I noticed that you could still click on the door even after you had the key for the key lock doors. So I just started clicking on random doors. That was one I never clicked on. I didn't know that one. But that's how I learned about how you actually need the Mystic Key to get through Temple of Fiends Revisited. You click on the door and boom, it says this door is locked by the Mystic Key. And I'm like, oh, that's dirty.
Well, I think one theory is that when the developers were kind of built the game in kind of a weird order and kind of had doors key locked before they had really finalized where the key would actually end up.
Yeah, that might be the case. I think the idea they had in mind was maybe put the key inside the last area of the game. That might have been what they had in mind. They decided that was too nasty. So we're going to, on ShadowWalker's floor, he's already gone through the speed bump, by the way. So he's going to come to a bigger speed bump in a moment. As he's now on the Nick floor. After this bout with images and trolls and the wonderful bull that does 1 damage at this point.
And I see a chat kind of conversing on ShadowWalker's choices of the various mage composition, having the red and 2 black as opposed to having one of them as a white mage.
And ShadowWalker now has lit his 4th orb and is on his way to Temple of Fiends Revisited ahead of One Fine Day, who should be getting the adamant right now.
Yep, there it is. There it is.
So he's about, at this point, I would say about 3 minutes or so behind. This could still go down to either runner. Because ShadowWalker has to make the trip to the... Well, he's going to... One fine day we'll have to do this too.
Yeah.
But of course, we know it's the key coming from the dwarf. We're seeing it right now. So ShadowWalker is now in complete go mode. He has the Mystic Key. He can go through Temple of Fiends revisits. It's a good thing he did not go to Topher without that key, or he would have been stuck.
Yep. Yeah, that is. I think I have seen that at least once in in a race. That is, you never want to see that.
No. If you see a runner do that, it's like, oh no, don't leave.
It's one of those mistakes that you usually only make once.
Yeah.
Because after it happens once, you make sure it never happens again.
You realize how embarrassing that is, and you never do it again. That's exactly right. But I'm just thinking how bad this could have been, though. You know, I didn't know that one room in Sea Shrine was key lock. Can you imagine if we had to get the Mystic Key to get our last key out of that key lock room in Sea Shrine?
That would have been mean. That definitely would have been
nasty. That would be nasty.
All right, One Fine Day is at Kraken.
Release the Kraken! We're going to see what the lovely Gassies have up here if ShadowWalker runs into any. So far, he has run into none, and it looks like he will run into none. Will he check Will he check our final two chests that we're going to see? Even though there are a few on the time at 2-4, these are the last two chests we'll probably see if he chooses to check.
Ooh, Phantom is Cure 4 and is pretty tanky too.
Oh, wow.
That's, ooh my.
Will he use Cure 4 often?
Phantom is an oddly annoying sort.
Lit 2, I think he's going to go down now. You should have used Cure 4 again. Should have used Cure 4 again, Phantom. No chest checking. One Fine Day is getting his key. Hooray!
Oh, he's going to check the...
Is he looking for a Mazamoon?
Possibly.
Mazamoon.
That could make a big difference here.
Pro Ring, Opal Gauntlet, Iron Shield,
Age of Shield.
Well, he's nope, not going to pick it up.
Not good enough to keep. He's already got ribbons on everybody, so the Aegis Shield is just superfluous.
He is still checking the chests. Wow.
Huh. What? Exactly. Well, to be fair, he doesn't have defense, doesn't have white shirt. We know where they are, but One Fine Day does not.
Excalibur.
Well, there's Excalibur, though. That's not a bad find.
That may be sufficient. There's
and
the Mazamoon.
There's the Mazamoon, too! Wow!
The Corneria Weaponry Shop, weapon vault has delivered for One Fine Day, who now has the finest weaponry to take out the Chaos. But ShadowWalker, if he maintains his pace, is ahead and will still win this race if he doesn't have any problems here. If he does have problems, One Fine Day is positioned to take this from him.
Mm-hmm. And One Fine Day stocking up on magic and heal potions before diving in, as ShadowWalker is heading towards Lich 2.
I think this also explains why One Fine Day didn't want to fight the robot chickens. He didn't feel good with the weapons he had, and he didn't have that white shirt for invisibility. So that might explain his running from the Warmax earlier.
Yeah, that would make sense.
So we have no information for the Warmax. ShadowWalker now goes to our more enhanced speed bump, which is very tanky. 86 there, 64. Fire 3 hits for 90. Bill does Fire 3 for another 52. So yeah, this is a little bit more of a magic resisting lit here. Not hitting very strong though, so it shouldn't be hard to get him down. And there's 230 for the night. We're done.
Yeah, the Fire 3s didn't really do much. But it's probably better than using nukes.
And ShadowWalker is moving along with the carry forward. One Fine Day is now in Temple of Fiends Revisited on the Phantom. He's going to see just how tanky this Phantom is today, unless he pulls a good combination right away. Oh, 221, that's not bad.
Nah.
Oh, Cure 4, first thing used again. He gets to see that.
Yeah, the Cure 4 is the first on the spell list, yeah.
And time to see what Carry 2 has to offer.
Yep, just going straight with the nukes.
And is still standing. And there's the nuclear!
Oh dear. Both Black Wizards survive, and down goes Carry 2. Oh my, that
not enough to take out, not enough to cause problem for ShadowWalker, so that's going to be okay. He's going to have to heal. I think he did heal a little bit.
Yeah, he did. He used a couple heal 3s. ShadowWalker, did ShadowWalker pick up Life 2 on the night? I don't remember.
I don't know if he did. So if he didn't, then Kraken 2 needs to go after the Red Mage immediately.
Yeah. And knowing how RNG works, it probably will happen.
It will happen, yeah. It probably will happen. That could be a race decider. So as we're about to step on the trap tile that features Kraken 2, One Fine Day dealing with the finest shimmers on the first floor. And it is time to release the Kraken 2!
Okay, so apparently ShadowWalker did get it on the Life 2 on the night.
Okay,
and,
good.
And moved the Red Wizard to the bottom, which is an interesting move.
Yeah, probably just to protect the Life 2 caster, one of the Life 2 casters.
Probably. Wow.
Kraken didn't do much today. He was paper.
Yeah.
One Fine Day is 3 floors behind right now, so let's see how he does on the Earth floor. We're going to have time at 2. This could be the run decider right here. Time at 2 has been known to cause changes in results in the past. Will time at 2 cause problems for ShadowWalker today? We're going to find out in a matter of seconds here as he's about to enter that fight. One Fine Day going through Lick 2 and finding out how tanky he is on magic. ShadowWalker cues the time at fight. Defense sword immediately used. We're getting fast out of level 7. Temper and more temper, it looks like. And One Fine Day is now on the carry floor, 2 floors behind. He's catching up fast.
Yep, made real quick work of Lich 2.
Which is common.
Well, as in quicker work than ShadowWalker did.
Yeah. So going to run right into the carry fight, not wasting any time checking the menu for hit points or anything. Didn't have to, was pretty much had no problem getting through. Mazamune made this easier. He's finding the nuclear, first spell, survive, and carry is terminated. He is now only 1 floor behind once he heals up.
And, Team of 2 got quad X'd.
Ooh, that's nice.
And ShadowWalker moving on, about to move on to the Chaos floor.
Well, after this brief air intermission with its stingers, we're now on the Chaos floor. One Fine Day is going to have to catch up a little quicker here. That time going through the weaponry in Corneria may have cost him here, and in the other area that may have cost him here. Probably still behind, just not as much. So we're going to see if ShadowWalker has any problems. If he does, One Fine Day could take this race. But cue the Chaos fight. As we now have fast, we have, I think that was a shirt of some sort. Yeah, white shirt is being used by ShadowWalker. That's something One Fine Day does not have. Fast is being used on the knight who is at the bottom of the party, being protected, just in case we have to go into man mode. And first round is over. We are seeing more temper.
So this is one thing that ShadowWalker does have an advantage on over One Fine Day, having the 3 fast / temper casters as opposed to One Fine Day only having 1.
Oh, we've lost the red mage. Red wizard, sorry. One Fine Day is on the Kraken.
6 hits, 124 with the Vorpal, and there's nuclear! Oh boy.
This could get nasty. I think he's tempered up enough that he should be able to manage the fight now, but 288 is a low amount of damage. If that knight goes down...
And
heal 3. Got the heal 3. One Fine Day is closing fast. He's coming up on time at 2 right now.
Yes, brings out Ice 2.
849. That is good. He's got this fight, I think.
Yeah, that was a lot of temper charges put on that night.
It was. He got his weapon finally tempered by the finest temperers. Can we say that? Luke comes out 155. Chaos misses, so the white shirt doing its job. 652 damage. Will a Cure 4 come out from Chaos and make...
Oh, yes! There, yeah,
As I called it!
Oh, wow!
Oh! I'm
Okay.
getting in the business of being a caster cursor here. My goodness. Wow.
And Chaos has Zap, too. But with all those temper charges, Dave there will be able to make up some damage real quick. But holy cow, you don't want to see that.
He actually got the termination, though. Only 2 or 3 more rounds, he still got the termination. So that was a very quick turnaround after the Cure 4 for ShadowWalker to get that win. Chaos is terminated. Go ahead.
Yeah, ShadowWalker finishing first place with an official SRL time of 1:31.29, just as One Fine Day enters the Chaos floor.
Yeah, I was just going to say that ShadowWalker must think that One Fine Day might have had a problem with that, so he probably doesn't know he was ahead the whole way. He's going to probably find out very shortly.
Well, we have ShadowWalker right here in the booth. GG.
He may have heard me then. GG, ShadowWalker.
GG. Thanks, gentlemen.
How did that feel to you today?
Pretty good. I felt really good about my routing, and I actually felt like I was ahead. So I felt like my routing was good enough that with the finding of the key items very quickly, I felt like I might have a little bit of an advantage, and it turns out that was true. One Fine Day is certainly a great opponent, and glad to see that it's a close race.
Yeah, it's a very close race. It could have been a lot closer, though. Or even a lot more further apart, too. There were a couple plays he made that were very interesting that could have decided the race had they led to something. For example, he dove Earth Cave first while he was in the area getting the item from Sarda. After doing the Ruby Titan, he went right down to Earth Cave and cleaned out all the items in it, whereas you go-moded it as the last dungeon. That made a huge difference to your winning today.
I'm not going to lie, I very strongly considered that play having the rod and being in the area already.
That's why he did it.
There were just a few more chests in Earth, or a little better chest density. I think I might have pulled that trick.
It did turn out to be worthwhile, because it turns out the third ribbon was in the second floor of Earth, I believe.
I mean, that's fine. I already had 2 ribbons and a black shirt. That provides a lot of resists already. My gear was fine. I was very happy with what I had.
The one thing that made a difference right here at the end, after getting the...
there's the Cure 4 for...
There's the Cure 4.
Yep.
And after One Fine Day got the key, he actually checked the Dwarf Armory and the Corneria Armory, and in the Corneria Armory found both Excal and Massmune.
I mean, I briefly considered checking those chests, but with 3 Temper Casters and Fast available to me, Vorpal's plenty good enough to take out the endgame.
And whoop, there's Zap taking out the White Wizard.
Not strong enough.
And things that actually, One Fine Day actually made up ground in Topher because of that Massmune. Because at one point, it was like 3 floors down, 2 floors down.
And
There's Swirl,
and
but down goes Chaos.
Oh my, that fight got dicey too. Wow.
Yeah. One Fine Day finishing second place with an official time of 1:34.30. GG.
Only about 3 minutes apart. Very good race by both runners here today. Get your GGs in chat for them if you haven't already. Oh my.
Yeah, that came pretty down to the wire there at the end.
Yeah, I figured with the caliber of opponent that I was up again, unless one of us wiped in Topher, it was going to be very close.
We thought after the Cure 4, though, and I'll be honest, I accidentally called it, sorry. We thought that after the Cure 4, that might have caused an issue, because you had, at that point, you had everything tempered up, and I think it only took 2 rounds to get the fight over after that, even after the Cure 4, so that temper really did come in wonders today. Was it 3? Sorry, I didn't know if it was 2 or 3, but yeah. Still came very quickly with all the tempered that's been used, and the knight still surviving throughout the fight, so that really did help in that case. It made things a lot easier.
And we have One Fine Day in the booth. GG.
GG.
Thanks. Good game, ShadowWalker.
Yeah, GG, that was very close. I see you went with a 3-man party.
Yeah, I did. Fighter, white mage, black mage, and this time it worked. I had a lot of wipes when I was practicing.
Yeah, that never feels good. I went with a very offensive strategy. I took fighter, double black, and a red.
Yeah, I think that would have been actually recommended this seed because the only thing that the white mage offered early was heal 3, and you really don't need heal 3 that much. I mean, you'd get heal 3 after promotion with the red mage anyway.
Yeah, the life 2 early on is very nice, but until you get up to the levels where you get fade, which is level 6, so not even good offense for the white mage.
There's
And
one.
so-
Oh, go ahead.
So there was some interesting route divergences between the two of you. One early thing that did kind of give ShadowWalker an advantage, he checked the upper part of Marsh and found defense and white shirt.
Well, that actually probably helped me to not find those because I wouldn't use evasion strategies. Plus, I had Invis 2 and Invis, so I had evasion stacks when I needed them. I used them for Kraken 2 and Chaos.
And as we mentioned earlier, one fine day, you checked the armories after finding the key and getting that windfall in Corneria Castle. That was huge. It allowed you to make some time up in Topher, but it just wasn't quite enough.
I think if I just didn't do the full clear of Earth early, I'd be in good shape. I don't like doing early Earth, but because I was there and the thing I had to turn was the crystal. My thinking was, if crystal isn't the answer, I'll just it'll be easier for me to go on to volcano and ice from there.
Yeah, I really thought about making that same play myself, and then at the last second I decided, nah, I'm not going to. I'm going to go see what this crystal gives.
Now, there was something that I thought was interesting. It's just a little side thing here. I want ShadowWalker to take a guess how many Warmechs we saw between the two of you in this race today.
Well, I know I saw 0, so I'm going to say 0?
Tom, how many Warmechs you had one fine day?
3 of them.
Man, lucky. I wanted some Warmex.
I ran from all of them because I wanted no piece of a Warmech.
You could have given them to me at least.
Because at the time, all I had was a crappy Vorpal sword. I wasn't going to go against Warmech with Vorpal and limited temper charges and no fast, because fast was at 7.
Yeah,
Did you not find Bonk?
Bonk was in Volcano. I didn't have that when I went into Sky, because
Yeah,
I did...
Oh.
yeah, he did Volcano after Sky.
Gotcha. I had defense, white shirt, Bonk, and a couple tempers, so I was like, let's do this.
By the way, one fine day, White Shirt was in Marsh Cave upper
Yeah.
section.
I had mentioned that already.
Oh, you mentioned that? Sorry.
Yeah, but I wouldn't need white shirt because it would be on my white mage anyway, and she had Invis too.
So one thing about the Chaos fight, how did you guys react when you saw that Cure 4 come out?
I had to laugh because I'd just seen Cure 4 on the Phantom after nearly killing it. And then to see Cure 4 on Chaos after he was nearly dead, I was like, well, that's only appropriate.
You both got that.
Yeah, I was about to ask.
Although by the time the Cure 4 came out, you were fully tempered and buffed up, and it didn't take long to take Chaos out after that.
Hold on a second. I gotta. Is my mic getting through?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, we hear you.
Okay, good.
I mean, the Cure 4 wasn't too big a deal when I saw it. I'd already gotten like 10 temper charges and a bonk in there and fast, so like, okay, go ahead and restore your hit points. I'm gonna kill you just as fast.
I got it. I probably was just right next to killing Chaos when he did the Cure 4, and obviously I only had the one Black Mage for temper, so I wasn't as buffed. as you would be with 3 temper testers.
Yeah, I was swinging for some ridiculous damage. That Vorpal, even not criticaling, was swinging for 800.
Yeah, and just to show how close it was, ShadowWalker and onefineday, you guys pretty much got your key within a few minutes of each other. And by the time ShadowWalker finished Chaos, that was when onefineday was just entering the Chaos floor. That's how close the race was.
Oh, so the time difference really did come down to I don't know how much. I don't know what the difference was going into Topher, but
you were at one time. I was we were calling the time at 2 fight for ShadowWalker, and you had just entered the Earth 4, I think, at that point, or you were coming out of the Earth 4 at that point. onefineday. By the time he finished the time at 2 fight, you were coming up, I think, on Kraken, so you were catching up fast.
Having that mass immune definitely helped speed up, because ShadowWalker did have. It took a little bit of time to get past Lich 2 and Carry 2 for ShadowWalker.
I mean, I one-rounded Carry 2. So
I guess it was just.
that
I guess it was just
Carry
Lich
2
2.
he got through fast. Yeah, Carry 2 was fast.
But GG, onefineday. And looking forward to seeing you in the bracket stages.
yeah,
Yep. So that puts you both at 4-1, both officially into the bracket stage. Don't have to mess with the play-in race at all. So how do you feel about that, ShadowWalker?
I felt pretty confident going in, and if I had to play in the play-in race, I think I would have been a favorite for probably top 3. So I wasn't that worried, but it definitely feels good not having to even mess with it.
And onefineday, you are already in the bracket stage, but were you feeling pressure? Were you feeling any pressure to try and get that first round bye, or were you not really concerned about that?
Well, my plan going into this tournament was just never lose once. If I lose once, I have some explaining to do. Although with today's match, I think I played pretty good. I mean, I had like 13,000 steps and 180 some battles. So a 134 is not bad considering those stats. Just kind of unlucky with the route. Earth was a bust. Sky Castle was basically a bust. The only thing I found in there was ribbons, and I don't think I had wall, but I don't think the ribbons are really that big a deal. If I have 1 ribbon, I'm okay. 2 ribbons is great.
This actually leads to another comment that I made during the Siege Shrine. This might have been something that really made up the difference in the race, except now we know you're looking for Mass Immune or something better weaponry, so maybe that makes sense, but when you did the difference with the Mermaid Floor, at that point, were you thinking about the fact that this is the last dungeon, maybe I should go left first to check Kraken, or were you actually looking for weaponry on the Mermaid Floor?
Part of it was weaponry, and the other was just the mermaids was closer to access the chest, and if the answer's there, I can go on a little faster than I would if I had full cleared the bottom of C and there was nothing there. Nothing that I cared about. That was my thinking. Mostly look for a key item. I was ready to go with the Vorpal Sword, and I was ready to go with what I had going into Sea Shrine, but I just wanted to get the key item, and then when I got the key item late, when I got the adamant late, I stopped checking. If I had found the adamant in upper C, I wouldn't check any more chests except for the key lock chest, because Dwarf Cave, obviously, I'm right there. I might as well check those 8 chests.
Of course.
And then Canaria, I had to go back there for restocking Keel Potions and to get my knight's tier 1 magic anyway, so checking the castle is not much more time, maybe like 20-30 seconds, if that.
Okay.
So, and I knew there were very few it was very likely that I was going to find a better sword than Vorpal, because I know it's quite likely I'd find a better sword than Vorpal, so the defense, Excal, or Massa would have been something to improve my odds, and it's probably worth the time to check those.
So a bit of a hypothetical question to Shadow. If the adamant wasn't where it was, if Kraken side was a bust, would you have checked the mermaid side, or would you have just gone straight to Earth and start checking chests there?
That was actually something I was debating. If I had not seen adamant on the way to Kraken, I was heavily debating gambling on skipping mermaids or whether I would do mermaids first. And I don't have a great answer. I feel like the better chest density would have pushed me to do mermaids first, but I might have full cleared Earth if I had not seen it.
Of course, the hypothetical answer to that is if it had been on Earth, onefineday would have been in go mode a lot sooner as well. So, because he did do Earth Cave first. So,
true enough.
Yeah, very good gamble. Just didn't pay off today.
One thing in my case, that one mistake that I made was that I did the first floor of Earth check very early, and it didn't give me anything important. It was just, I think, a house and some money, and I really should not have done that because that wound up taking like a minute and a half because I got stuck in a Cobra fight, and I lost 2 of my party members. I was down to the fighter when I crawled out of there. But I thought, that second walk was really nice, so I'd be able to, I thought, I would be able to check the 4 chests at the bottom, get out without much difficulty. But then I got a fight, and then another fight, and another fight, and it just drained so much time. I really don't like that. I really don't like that first floor of Earth check. I know a lot of people say, "Oh, if you have a good walk, that's a good play," but it just isn't. Because I think that was a double dip of Earth. Because I went back there early and full cleared it again. So, friends don't let friends die first.
Alright, so I guess it's about time to wrap things up here. Any final words on this seed from either of our runners?
Just once again, GG. Speed Gaming, thanks for hosting us. You've done a lot of hosting for our races in this spring tournament, so big shout outs to you guys. And I look forward to seeing everybody in the bracket stages.
Alright, so looking at what we have right now we have on Speed Gaming 2, we have Droid Zero Mission 100%. On Speed Gaming 3, we have Link to the Past Overworld Glitches. And moving on for the rest of today on Final Fantasy, at least, we have a race at 5:30 Eastern on Speed Gaming 2 between Gouda and Doogie MacGyver, I'm sorry. At 8 o'clock on Randomania, we have... that's actually the Chaos Rush Tournament Victory Lap.
Yeah.
And... tomorrow, rounding off the week 5, we also have a race at 9 o'clock tomorrow between Sani, Wrath 11, and Dengwu, somewhere on the Speed Gaming family of networks, channel as of yet undetermined.
I want to just make sure to stay tuned on this channel as well. Say among all the other events going on across Speed Gaming 2, Speed Gaming 3. And by the way, give Speed Gaming 2 through 6 a follow. All 6 of those channels, as you'll be able to find all of the events that you could ever want to watch on most of these channels for most of the games that we carry. So you'll find all sorts of things here. So make sure you stay tuned to this channel later, an hour from now, the Azure Dreams tournament. I think that's actually, I want to say that might be either a semifinal or a final. We are close to the end of that tournament. It might even be the final. So you may want to hang around for that one today. And also later on tonight, 9 o'clock on this channel, the main channel, we have the spoiler log tournament for Link to the Past Randomizer. They get to see where all the items are ahead of time, and they're going to be able to plan their route based on that. As such, it's more of a speed run test of skill than it is trying to find the right random item because they know where everything is already. That is the semifinals that's going to be starting tonight. The first game of the semifinals in that starts tonight. So we have 2 semifinals and a final left in that one. So that's going to be coming up tonight as well. So 2 big events on this channel coming up.
Yep, and that match will have Kyong versus ACMLM. That is going to be a huge matchup right there.
Absolutely. We already have the commentary crew set for that. I think I put you, the Mystic, JP, and Hammer on that. They're all really good, so that's going to be a good commentary. So anyway, with that said, yeah, we should probably go ahead and start wrapping up here because we're kind of idle long enough here, I think. Do you have any last thoughts before we do wrap up here, Emil?
Now, after this week's races are done, we're going to have 2 play-in races. The first one is going to be amongst all the 2 and 3s, myself included. That will be on Saturday, May 18th, time as yet undetermined. And the next day, on the 19th, we'll have another play-in race with the 3 and 2s, which the winner of the 2 and 3 play-in race will jump in with them, and that will round out the bracket. So that's going to be a very nice series of races right there.
Yeah, we're going to have, I don't know exactly how many, it depends on how many people actually enter, but I think the plan is to have multiple broadcasts, try to get all the runners featured so anyone can watch whichever runner they want to support. So I think the idea is to try and get multiple broadcasts, not just on Speed Gaming, there may be one on Randomizer as well, I don't know yet. So that may be across 2 networks, maybe across a bunch of channels here or over there as well. We'll see what happens when the time comes, but I'm looking forward to seeing what we put on for that. And it's going to be a lot of fun to try and follow all these runners. So good luck to everyone viewing as much as to us following the runners on that day, because it's going to be a lot of people racing that day, likely.
Oh, yes, definitely.
So with that said, let's go ahead and call it a race bet right here. I want to wish you all a wonderful afternoon, you in the chat. Make sure to come back again for those other events on this channel or on our other channels later today as need be. And with that said, especially come back tonight for the 5:30 Final Fantasy race as well, which I'm just checking again which channel that is. That's on Speed Gaming 2. Those of you who are watching on YouTube, the next event you will see will be another race from this tournament. Obviously, the other events we talked about will be on different playlists on our YouTube channel. But again, come by and join us on the live channel sometime and hang out with us. We'd love to have you here. So for our runners, make sure to follow our runners again, ShadowWalker and One Fine Day. That was ShadowWalker 227 and one followed by the number 1 Fine Day for their Twitch channels. Make sure to follow my co-commentator Melee Wizard and also our tracker, who I'm going to get his name again right now because I've lost that.
Super Luigi 52.
There it is, Super Luigi 52. That's right. My apologies for not remembering that off the top of my head. So thank you, Super Luigi 52, for the help tracking. And make sure to follow my co-commentator again, Melee Wizard. I am Cyclone or Cyclone GU, and I want to wish you a wonderful afternoon and see you at 5:30. Have a good one.